I've currently got a massive problem in my create mod city. I'm on the limit of the one steam engine currently powering all my farms. And I have plans to build a ton more of those, so I need to sort out a power solution. That's why today I want to build the ultimate power station, housing 16 level 9 steam engines to power this entire city. To power the engines themselves, I want to make an infinite lava pool, which also will allow me to transport lava around the city to the various different farms. If you are excited for all these future farms and builds I will make in the city, consider subscribing to not miss a future upload, and leave a like as it helps me out a ton. I'm going to throw ourselves right into material gathering for today and spend a bit of time processing down some tough and deep slate. Filling this first box off quite nicely. I also got a few other stone blocks and some other blocks right over here, but I'm still missing a couple, such as some red sandstone, which I don't have on hand. Oh, wait, I did a mission where I had to... Oh, don't think this is gonna be enough though, as well. Yeah, that's a very expensive recipe. I'm not entirely sure 37 smooth will cut it, but I'm gonna try. We should have a fair bit of terracotta, which can actually be turned into red sand. Yeah, here we go. Throw this into our crushing wheels. Shouldn't take long, and the red sand should be trickling in. This right here should be enough red sand. Now, except waiting for some beeswax for this, there is only one thing left, a lodestone, because there is really no better way to use netherite than decorate. Right? There's nothing more useful that I could use it for? No. One eternity later. There we go. First piece. I actually think I have one, but I'm gonna try to get it 4. Oh, double trouble over here. Ooh, and there we go. 4th and final piece. Any extras? No. Grab the scraps of the blaster there. Got our gold put together and a netherite ingot. Throw that together with our chisel bricks and we get our lodestone. With our blocks gathered, it's time to shift gears for a moment before we start building. Just like a power station fuels an entire city, the right tool can fuel you and your team to achieve incredible things. In Minecraft, a perfectly designed create mod factory automates the grind, freeing you up for bigger adventures. Just like in real life, where the right project management app can turn chaos into seamless teamwork. This portion of the video is sponsored by Kanbanchi, the ultimate powerhouse for organizing tasks and managing your workflow. My editor and I actually used Kanbanchi to plan out this video, and it made the process so much smoother. The Kanban boards let us easily break the video down into manageable portions and helped us track every step, from material gathering to the final edits. And the best part, Kanbanchi integrates seamlessly with Google Workspace. I could pull resources straight from the drive or add deadlines to Google Calendar. It even lets you log in with a Microsoft account, so it's flexible no matter what tools you're already using. Plus, knowing it's built with top-notch security, so all our ideas and files were safe while we worked. Whether you're collaborating with a big team or tackling a solo project, Kanbanchi adapts perfectly to your needs. If you are curious to see how Kanbanchi can transform your workflow, they offer a 7-day free trial, so you can try it out risk-free. And when you're ready to take the next step, use the link in the description to get 40% off your first purchase. Thanks again to Kanbanchi for sponsoring this video. With our materials put together, we have tons of blocks to place today, so I'm throwing myself straight into the build, starting the gatehouse off with its foundation stretching from down by the waterline to slightly above the current road height. I'm using mainly tough blocks with a few bubble coral and mossy stones thrown into the mix, installing a handful of copper grates to add a bit more shape to the build. Then to finish the foundation off, I want to top it with some polished tuff before starting the first actual walls of the gatehouse, and I'm trying a new, slightly weird palette, mainly consisting of coarse dirt along with regular dirt. This build's diagonal means the windows are a little trickier to build, but layering some orange glass and copycat blocks gives me the industrial feel I'm looking for. In between these two towers, I want to bring in an arch that will eventually support a walkway, and I want to start this off with some polished deep slates. Up at around this point is where we're gonna start the arch. I'm actually gonna need to use a couple of temporary blocks here, as I want a stair facing outwards. I'm just trying to add a little more oomph to this, if that makes sense, with some copycat panels, because that connection there is going to be really thin. Just need to get in the right spot where I can actually place them. There we go. We're going to top this off with a metal girder facing up and then extend up the 4 other sides. that all connected up, we can bring in an overlying just polished deep slate here on top, where we're going to be skipping one block right here for our lodestone as the grand entrance into the power station. I've added in a few chiseled tough bits to the arch here, and I'd like to extend this to the towers as well. So let's get a few temporary blocks with some stone before bringing out the copycats to go around the entire build. This also creates a nice border between the wall segments, and I'm moving to a more saturated orange palette for the final bit of the walls, with some big windows using light blue glass to add a bit of contrast. To then complete the towers, I'm looking back at the starter base tower roofs and using a gradient going from deep slate bricks through cobbled deep slate all the way to tough. And then to finalize the gatehouse, building up the walkway I mentioned earlier with the same block palette as the tower it stretches between. We're back down here on the ground. This is definitely a grand entrance, but it is just that, an entrance. So we've got to delve back into the starter base, and the first group of blocks I want to grab is copycats, where I, like usual, need a ton of these. Using the newly built roads to bring us over to the iron farm, where I am out of iron in the main base. Just gonna grab a lot of this, because of course we need a ton of metal detailing bits and bobs, which I'm quickly crafting out of the iron we just grabbed from the farm. To try and get as many metal blocks off the list as possible, I'm also crafting up a ton of local metal blocks in different gray tones. I need to turn a lot of these into slashed local metal, and it's a bit tedious in the stone cutter, so I thought I could use the bronze saw to help me out. And for some reason, I can turn iron ingots into 4 metal plates, which is an entire block. Doesn't really make sense in my head. And not just that, we can also turn it into the colors we want, because you can make iron into dyes? I'm not really sure about this one, but there is a lot of sawing to do, so yet again using the bronze saw to help us out. With those thrown into shulkers, I need to fill up on a bit of deep state, so out here at the mining machine, filling my pockets. Back inside, I'm turning that deep state along with a couple of other stone variants into the blocks I'll need for the build. I managed to strike a deal with Savachi that I think is a straight up scam for him, but I'm on my way over there to make this trade anyways. Big C! Big C!
Hi, what's up?
Hello, what's up, buddy? What's up?
Hello, what's up?
Oh, hello, yeah, very established. Yes.
Very much so, yes. Oh, thank you. Oh.
2 stacks of redstone blocks. Well, I'm getting some diorite too, right? So I felt rude about...
I had way more than I thought I did.
Oh, you do?
You know what? It's your lucky day too. When I organized, I made sure to keep the diorite. Look at that chest.
That's like how much I need.
I'll take it all.
Wait, I need 18 stacks. And wait, 18 stacks. That crosses that. No, I need 19 stacks. Let me just look through this list. I need 3 more stacks. Yeah, that should actually be it. I brought actually, so here's, wait, hold up. No, don't drop them. No, put them back in the vault, please.
No. That's not out of the vault. That's just extra.
What do you mean?
It doesn't know where to go.
Oh my god.
That's why I realized.
Anyways, here is a bigger vault. This can hold 100,000 items.
Oh, thank you.
And I will just glue this up. I'm guessing I can just take this with me, right? This is what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking we glue that up.
You should be able to.
And then...
yeah, there's nothing else like...
we just put this down here. And I'm thinking we just... right? And
hey, there we go. Look at that.
Yeah, pleasure doing business. I dropped off the diorite at the base and realized I'm out of shulker boxes, which means I have to break the law again. But it's fine, right? I've already done it once. What's the harm of doing it again, right? Put some fuel into here and off to make this scary trip above the void. I don't. Wait, that landed in the void. We're good. Oh my god. I almost just lost everything. Oh, okay. Whew, almost just jumped into the void with my backpack still on, but luckily didn't, and here we go. With that near miss, I'm out of the end and back gathering materials. I'm out of warp wood and need a bunch of shumites, so I'm using the nether roof as the perfect spot to cut down a bunch of warp trees. Gathered that up, got enough shroom lights put together, and should have enough warped to get my trapdoors. Finally, now time for our create components. First of all, crafting up all the blaze burners we'll need, a few other small things, and just started crafting and instantly ran out of copper, so heading over into some caves to do a bit of mining. My recording gave up after this, but it pretty much just looked like this. I had a bunch of copper, I smelted that, crafted into blocks, crafted a few other things. Pretty much done with all of the material gathering, just taking the ice highway, where I've got 3 stacks of dark prismarine, which I need to drop off at Shal's in an ongoing delivery for some more money. Mr. Shal's? Mr. Shal's? Hello? Mr. Shal's? I don't know if this... Ooh, I broke his neck. Why is his neck like that? I guess while we are waiting for Shal's to unbreak his own neck, there's a calcite vein up here. And calcite is the final block I need. Bit of a climb getting up here, and I didn't bring the mining machine. So hand drill? Yes? No? 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 No drill? No? No hand drill? That doesn't work? Well, Charles' neck is still broken, so guess the only thing I can do is wait, right? I broke your neck, but you're fine now. It's unbroken now.
I'm Fry now.
Yeah, you're fine. You're not fried.
Stephen Fry, previous host on the hit TV show QI.
That's it. You're going BBC. In the crushing wheels.
Holy no!
Oh!
No! No!
He's on fire. I have prismarine for you. 3 more stacks.
Ooh, come with me. I'll show you what I stole from you. Look, every time I try to open my chest, I accidentally click the sign. That's why it says Charles. I took like, yeah, I have. So it's in here. I already crafted it into the item. So the stairs are 1 block, right? 1,
yeah,
2,
well, we said what you've gotten like 8 stacks, right?
I think I took less, but we can say that because that's what we said it from the beginning. I actually accidentally completed 2 missions, so I have.
Yeah, you have money.
I have 30 spares remaining.
Let's go. Ah, there it is. The drill. You didn't think I would do material gathering without mentioning it, at least. And with all of the books now in my inventory, it's time for us to start building. And before I can get these shulkers placed down, I need to get a few blocks out of them. But there are a lot of shulkers to look through. Luckily, I have a mod which means I can see what's inside of shulkers, which is extremely helpful for this part. I need to get some basalt in here, so I'm going to use some temporary stone just to help me out. Got the rest of the walkway extended in. Just going from basalt down to cobblestone and back out again. Also placed all my shulkers down, and hopefully I can find all the blocks I will need here, or at least in a reasonable time, because I mean they're all here, I hope. For now though, I'm gonna need some deep slate, some diorite, metal girders would probably be good, and I'd like to actually grab this box and this one. As right down here, I have extended in a stone platform, which we're gonna use to create a floor, because for some reason I keep deciding to use blocks that are directional, and I want the bottom facing one in the floors, and it's very annoying, but it also looks really good. I'm also leaving a couple gaps here, realizing I've completely messed this up, where our steam engines are going to go, because this is the first part in the steam power plant, which is a lot more than a power plant too, but it's mainly a power plant. I just thought it would be nice to start with the actual steam engines part before we build up the rest. And since we do have a mod installed which allows us to just fuel lava straight into blaze burners, that's obviously the way I'm going to do this. As right above... No, wait, no, not me doing the complete wrong thing. We need the blaze burners first, of course. I'm afraid this building is going to be very, very laggy, because I know steam engines are extremely lag heavy. So I'm not going to power all of these up until I need to. I'm going to power them up one by one. And when I run out of power, I'm going to power, well, the next one up, obviously. Which should hopefully at least save me from a lot of lag in the city for a while, I'm hoping. But really, we are playing the create mod after all. It's a laggy mess. A good laggy mess, but still a laggy mess. Of course, this isn't quite enough, as to turn these into actual steam engines, we need to add in steam engines. which I'm going to do right on top of these. And like I just mentioned, I'm not going to hook up any shafts to these, as that's something we're going to do in the future when we actually need more power. I just had a realization. I have not thought about water. Uh-oh. It's fine. I have an idea. I'll do it later. Because for now, I want to do building and definitely not focus on my oopsie doopsies. Right? Yeah. Building, everybody. Building. Now I've been a bit lazy here on the basement walls with, well, no texturing. But that just has to be fine because I'm mainly focused on the exteriors. And on the inside, I'm not going to be that often and it looks good enough. Currently just working on adding a little bit of a deep slate foundation to this white wall we're building up. Just to add a little bit of detail to it. Also need to bring this in on the front side. So we need a few temporary blocks around here. Along with actually these gaps. This little area right here is going to be a way up and in. I'm just using a ton of different deep slate blocks here to frame this all out. Along we continue with our temporary stone blocks to actually get them facing the right way. With the foundations in, I want to continue our walls up, where I want to use the city's first green blocks. Going from green concrete powder into a bit of an odd one with green glazed terracotta. Finishing that off and bringing us back into the white with some calcite, but with some moss in it. And then I'm adding in a couple of windows here with cyan glass and warp trapdoor as I continue extending these walls up. And that forms the first facade of this inner courtyard here. But before we head up on the roof, I'd actually like to complete the steam engine setup in here. And to do that, we need to actually bring ourselves up a couple of blocks, as it's going to be very, very tight down here otherwise. And I actually want to, I think at this level right here, start bringing in some steel girders. Steel girder, metal girders. I'm going to be bringing these in every other block, as these are going to be holding, well, our second level of steam engines in here. While we are at it here in these rafters, we might as well bring in a little bit of lighting to the bottom level. Continuing up the stairs, let's bring out our final blaze burners. And we're gonna go in the exact same spot as below. And no, wait, I'm doing this in the wrong order. The blaze burners obviously go above the pipes, which we get in first. And yeah, I guess technically the steam engines are going to be floating, but it's fine. We don't have to look too closely at it. Now we can come in with the blaze burners. It's gonna get even louder in here with all the smoke crackling. Luckily, this is not a building that I'm going to be inside of very often. As well, there's really nothing for me here to do other than look at it. Although I'm not quite sure why I would want to. I mean, it's gonna look good when I can see from the outside, because I haven't given the most thought to the interior. But it's fine, right? It's fine. It's a cool building on the outside. Of course, bringing these up 3 more blocks as well. They'll have all of the steam engines on me. Actually gonna be leaving one. I'm gonna get some shafts and place these in. And before we get the roof in, do I have more girders? I really should have more. Oh, that's quite a fall now. I am about to use a lot of encased metal girders, which I actually don't think counts as girders. They count as shafts on the schematic or the material list. Luckily, I should have a bunch of extra girders just laying around in my chests. And since we are automating everything already, they are very, very cheap to craft as well. Oh, it's overstressed. It's out of lava. Good thing we're making a steam engine, huh? I guess we'll have to survive with the 30 I have. That's fine too, although I can make a few more. Not gonna hook up any of the steam engines just yet, because when we do supply water to all of this, they would start spinning, and I obviously don't want the ones I'm not actively using spinning, because that's going to create a lot of unnecessary lag. Also, this is not going to be enough, I don't think. So we'll have to come back and fix that up later. Oh, wait, here's all the dirt. Okay, I thought about it for a second and it was a little too odd that there were a lot of them missing. Should probably check in your shulker box system. And with moving on from that, for now, I do actually want to bring in our roof. And we have actually emptied out the first shulker box. I've already grabbed hoppers and cauldrons. Also gonna grab a whole bunch of mud, bubble deep state walls, and polished slabs. Stuffed a few more detailing bits in the backpack. Get ready for us to head up to the roof. But the first thing I actually want to create is a roof trim. I used something similar over in the residential area in the city last episode, and I'd want to bring it back. We're just using some hoppers as some curvature and then also a cauldron, and we're finishing that off with our deep state slabs. So we're just getting some small arches built using a hopper, cauldron, and a slab just to add a bit of shape to the roof. Then above this, for the actual roof itself, I want to use our mud, which is actually going to be going on top of the hopper, cauldron, slab combo. Before we can get around to those details I grabbed, I want to bring in a couple deep slate fence, I was going to say, but that's a wall. Oh, and I just lost that. All right, guess I got to jump down here now. I do also have to fix the wall there because I think I left a little gap. So this is going to be coming along, and then every 3 blocks where we have a cauldron, we're going to bring out a wall. And with that in, we can look to the details. We can start off with something simple with some AC units. Probably going to turn all of these fans off because, well, them spinning would probably cause more lag than them not spinning. This is already going to be a very, very laggy building to look at. Then since this is such a big roof, I really want to bring in some catwalks just to section it off a little bit. Add in a few supports for it. Let's get some catwalk railings in. Final thing for roof details is going to be our fluid tanks here, which, or well, our boilers. This is not fluid tanks, which is going to be a bunch of chimneys. Oh, you can place those inside of you. Okay, interesting. Get a campfire on top of this, and then I think we just use a bit of industrial iron as the top of them, because you obviously want to create a bunch of smoke coming out, making the factory feel very active. I'm not going to use all of them or have all of them being active, but I also want to bring in some oil burners to add in another sort of, this is a catwalk. Okay, makes sense why it doesn't want to be placed, right? Oh my god, it's so smoky. There we go. I was gonna be changing the color out for some gray smoke instead, just to fit the campfire a little better. Few more pipes added in down the bottom, and this first roof is completed. Did also add this little thing in, and I think I want like a gray placard right there, and we should have that one steam engine left over, which we can put to just symbolize that this is actually the steam building. Next, I actually want to delve into these boxes, which hold a lot of loco metal, and I mean a lot. I'm actually not going to need this much light gray loco metal because I've gathered far more than I do need. And to make my life easier, I'm actually going to be heading down a couple of blocks first of all. This right here should be good, not too far. And at this level now, bringing in a circle. For now, let's extend this up another 4 blocks, and this is going to create our infinite lava pool tank, actually. Before we continue that upwards, I actually want to bring out a bunch of industrial catwalks and catwalks railing, because once we do have lava in here, we don't accidentally want to fall in, do we? It would be less than ideal. With our safety railing in on the catwalk, I'm continuing the circle up using those light grey loco metal blocks. This was, however, only the inner circle, as I want the one seen on the outside to be bigger, and with the steam engine room sticking into it, I want the lava room itself to be circular. To support the outer shell, I'm also bringing up some of the regular loco metal. Had to put in some details here on the inside as there was a mob fest in here. There was like 5 creepers and a whole bunch of other mobs. Anyways, this right here is going to be the lava room. And thinking about it, I'm actually gonna use some temporary blocks so I get myself a platform, because I have a feeling I'm about to fall down, and I like not to, because it's quite a way to get back up. Obviously, we have to extend down a tank from this so that we can actually make our infinite lava pool, but we first of all need to get the infrastructure for it in. Most important bits are obviously the host police, which are going to go that way, all facing into the middle, and then we'll use a mechanical pump out of these. As the way fluids work in the create mod, fluid pipes themselves don't really have a limit to how much fluid they can transport. So if we're having 4 of our mechanical pumps facing into one fluid pipe, that's going to hold the equivalent of how much 4 of these can pump. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm hoping to actually use the same system later in the steam engine room when I'm hooking up the water, since I forgot to figure that one out, but that should let us hook up with the water nicely. Next stage is obviously going to be bringing in power here to the middle, where I want to use some industrial gears just to give us a bit more detail. On the outside of this, we're bringing in our cogwheels, stretching those across even to connect up to the other side. We obviously have to extend on the host pulleys, but I'll get a crank and I'll do that manually a little later. To hook the 2 sides up, I guess we could bring one in through the middle, but I'm just gonna go ahead and bring it in above. Or actually, will I? No, wait, this would look so much better. If we just open these up, bringing the shafts into the middle, right above right here, gearbox, second gearbox, and then we bring this out on either side. Because as you can see on the holes there, I'd plan to bring the power out or in through these, but we'll actually go ahead and lower that one block. And I need to go grab some casings as well. Final thing I need in this room is some metal brackets, which are on the outside still, as you can actually place these on cogs to give them a bit more of a supported feel, which we're definitely going to go ahead and do. Or well, actually connect them up to the metal support. You can actually do the same right here in the middle to hold that up, but I think that's about all. Of course, something we should do is just activate that before we put that through. Yeah, there we go. And now that's actually connected. With that in, I think I'm going to just keep the dirt platform for now, as we do have to get the host police sent down, but I'll be back once we have the lava in with that, which I guess we should get working on. So first of all, for that, I need a bunch of stone. And to do this, I need to head over to the newly named previous metal district, the Stacks. I took the shortened name from someone named Traveling, and I really think it just fits the area. Also, I'm still having the issues with the steam engine being off, but it's fine, right? I should be able to get the new steam engines up and running without that. Although that means this has to be enough stone, which I'm just gonna say and hope it is. Although, wait, I could actually fill up the final one from here, right? Right? Oh, there we go. Luckily for me, the one machine that actually keeps running even when there's no power is the fan setup. So I can turn this into a slightly nicer texture, being stone and not cobblestone. Looks like it's all converted, meaning we can get it back into the boxes. If my calculations are correct, we need to extend this round circle here down to the ocean, and that should make an infinite lava pool. Pretty sure this lines up nicely with the top there, so now we just gotta extend this up. And that finishes the tube off, and all of this down here below it. Now we just need lava and buckets. I have 1 bucket on me. Oh, 1. I guess I have to use it. And so with my backpacks, well, pretty much filled, we got this much. Oh boy, we're gonna need a bit of lava in here. Although I don't need it to be a smooth surface, it's gonna look bad without one. It needs to be a smooth surface. Let's see, how many buckets do we need here? Here's a stack. 2, 3. I think I need like 200 something. I'm gonna just fill up 3 stacks. I'm gonna bring extra blocks just in case I have extra space, because I do know for a fact I need around 4 stacks of buckets in total. I've trapped myself here on the outside now, but before actually heading up, I should be able to finalize the final thing, right? Let's see. I should be able to break these 2 blocks right here. I guess 1 block lower than that. And get into this room. What I now need to do here is... I'm way too far from that. First of all, is punch a hole so that I can actually see something. And I need to take away row by row here so that the lava can flow down to the bottom, because that's obviously how we are going to create our infinite lava pool. This shouldn't be too hard as long as I make sure not to spill it over my catwalks, or yeah, whatever you would call this. Final couple of blocks now. We are reaching the little last space here in the tank where I can actually stand still, and I think all I need to do is break these 2 and then replace these 3. Hopefully that flows all the way down. It really should. Don't see why it wouldn't. Oh, and I'm all the way down. This room is now looking pretty great. I know it's pretty bare, but I did want to make this something that would feel really heat resistant in a way, because, well, we are housing a lot of lava. Obviously, I have to extend down all of the hose pulleys, but I'll do that a little later. As for now, something that's not looking as good, well, this entire side, but also this. Yeah, it's not looking great up there either. So let's address that. For this part, I'm using a schematic cannon that is first building up some decorations with pipes and metal blocks. The next section is the reason why I'm using a schematic cannon, and also the reason why I needed an entire shulker box of copycat slices. I wanted some really thin stripes between the glass portions, and the slices ended up fitting perfectly. To top this off, I decided on a giant copper block roof along with some polished top. Had to hop into the plane for this one, as this structure is massive. I know it sits higher up than the starter base because I do want a hill over here, but it still rivals the height of it, and I absolutely love it. Definitely missing a few details. I have no idea what I should showcase or put inside of this area. I was thinking maybe a hologram, but I'm not sure. So if you have any suggestions, do let me know. And so I think it's time to fix this and connect that up to these. And I think where I'm going to start is 2 steam engines. And that's going to be... And I guess it really doesn't matter which 2 we choose. So I'm going to pick these 2. Cut off the lava supply right there in preparation for when we want to extend it. And yeah, this is definitely going to be the easiest one, as this is the closest as well. Obviously, we need to power to this. I'm going to power it right there and then send this into the wall together with that. Should probably add in like a copycat door, but I'll get that in later if so. For now, we need to hook this up to this right over here, where we probably want to get in a buffer tank at some point, but yeah, it's fine. We'll do that later. This is by no means going to be the prettiest cable management or stress unit management, I guess, but it's gonna be good enough. That powers that pump. We're gonna need a lot of water wheels. So 4 pumps, 8 pumps. And then every single steam engine needs its own pump too. And there's 16 of those. We need 24 pumps. So we need 24,000 SU just to power this, which this actually should make, right? That should be 24,000. Okay, maybe this isn't too bad then. Can add it on. Okay, I'm gonna add the entire stack. It's worth it. 62 water wheels in. That's the final one, which, yep, that should definitely be spinning. Would be worried if it wasn't. Now, let's see that 2 and those. Oh, that actually looks so sick. Now, all I should need to do is pull out the hand crank. And I think what I could do to just help me out slightly and speed this process up a little bit. First of all, we're going to remove this dirt because I don't need it any longer. I would like to... Wait, actually, what if I... Oh, and it's infinite. And it's infinite. I was actually surprised that worked. It should mean that I could just do... No, not that lucky, am I? Although... Bonk. Oh yeah, there we go. All of them are at bottomless supplies. And that is looking proper cool. Which also means, right... Those 2 have fuel. They don't have water yet. We are going to fix that. But first, let's get in the top part. That, of course, being the actual steam engines themselves. Well, the shafts for the steam engines themselves. And my plan for the water is actually quite simple. I think I want to bring it up the back right here. Actually, yeah, we're just going to have to encase a few things here. Those are going to have to be encased. We're going to have to remove these temporarily. That's not good. That's not great. Did not think about that. Fluid pipe here, that is encased. Now, place these back. Okay, that should work. Don't ask me what that was. Now this pipe runs down past these steam engines into these as well, actually. That looks a little interesting, but it's fine. It works, right? Or actually what we could do down here at that point, we could bring it into the wall like that. Yeah, that works. Hooked every single one up and then realized I don't need the middle ones because each pipe will be enough to supply water to 4 steam engines. But they're all in now at least, and I also got the little infrastructure here below. This actually looks pretty cool and should work for us as long as we just connect these up in between. Swap this one out for a gearbox, hooking those up. That should actually start the steam engines. Yep, those are maxed on water. Water is definitely being brought up the pipe, but it's not being brought the entire way. Okay, that's a slight issue, not huge. We are about to up the range of pipes, we just haven't yet. Ooh, that should be fixed tomorrow when the mechanical pump range increases. And yes, the starter base isn't spinning at the moment, but also I already have all the blocks to finish the steam power plant. So building? Building indeed. Kicking us off with the foundation and walls of a new structure. I'm bringing back the same block palette I used for the steam engine building since I liked it so much there. Again, going very simple on the backside since I will eventually be bringing in terrain there along with more buildings. Then, since I want this to also serve a purpose, it will be the monorail depot, so I'm building up an entrance for that out of the classic deep slate. Then onto the roof where I'm yet again repeating the mud along with the hopper cauldron overhang. And since repeat is the theme for this structure, I'm moving the details around a tad bit, but it's still a few chimneys, some catwalks and AC units to finish it off. This area right here is actually starting to look really cool once you look up now, especially with like all of these 3 buildings in. We do, however, still have this space and a lot of water wheels down here that we need to cover up. And there's also a lot of details I want to get in. Not exactly sure what those details are yet, but I mean, I know there needs to be more details around me here. But first of all, this is something I've got to address. Oh, and I know I mentioned in the past that I was going to start setting up monorails today. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I did want to, but then I'm just gonna wait and do it all in one episode instead, which means I'm gonna be hooking up this to that, the andesite over to the residential area for all the components, hooking up the starter base, and actually making some platforms around the city. It's gonna be really, really cool. First of all, let's go ahead and grab up deep slate bricks and deep slate. Let's grab stone bricks as well. Oh, and tough. Gonna grab this because I think I need to repair the side of the gatehouse just a tad. I should have, where is that? Yes, cyan terracotta. And final block, I think I saw it earlier. Yes, andesite. Now let's jump down right over here where I've created some terrain and actually want to bring out the lake this way as I'm going to be cutting it away a little bit over there and over at the residential area. Terrain is a work in progress. It will be finished at some point. Yes. I mean, it will eventually connect down to the ocean and then the ocean floor, which is probably around 100 blocks under me right now. So that's a ginormous project, but that is future problems. For now, though, I want to focus on the wall that I'm missing. Starting us off with deep slate bricks, going into deep slate, and then cyan terracotta. Following this, bringing in just a little bit of tough before our stone bricks, and then the andesite as our lightest block. Finished off the walls and it's actually looking really good. I really like this texture. I'm so going to use this again in the city, but for now we need a few more details as this is going to be purely decorational, but I want this to be the intake for water into the power station as well. We're powering the city with steam and we need water, so it makes sense to take water into the power plant. Yeah, I don't know why I'm sounding like that's odd because it's just how it works. Anyways, bringing out some copycat slabs first of all. Let's find ourselves where we need to be, which is right here. Oh, first 2 layers are going to be exposed copper and then a little bit of a mix, I think, going up after that. And we're already at the height we need to be. We'll extend these obviously out into the wall, and oh right, we need to change this one out for an upside down stair just to connect it into the wall and finish the first pipe off. Now just to repeat these 4 more times. There we go, those in, and there's a zombie. Bye. Let's bring ourselves up. And first of all, we can actually get some iron supports in. Top of this, we get our catwalks. And I'm actually thinking about taking these out another block. This would be for maintenance. Bring this over to this part right over here where we need a door. And I need to do that door one block out because, well, that's where I put the power for the steam engine backup thing. Yeah. Although I might just move these in one block, right? Because then I can bring that in. Yeah, that shouldn't look too weird, right? Yeah, it's fine. Then backside here to bring us back up, we're gonna use some stairs. This goes into more catwalk as it turns. Bring our railing with us, and then off of this block we should be able to just go up and in, and we reach this door. Perfect. So now you can actually get down there from somewhere else. And andesite trap door, which we can stick in a block. Yeah, let's just leave that side to it. With the smaller details in, let's finish this water pumping building off with a roof. Using mud bricks and spruce as the support for a mud roof. And I'm using some deep state walls again to give the roof a shingles feel. Of course, not forgetting to slightly modify it to fit the monorail depot. Lorewise decided to add in a few output pipes over on the steam engine side as well. Maybe hot water or something. It's drained back into the lake, which of course eventually will be hooked up. I also added in these copycat slices here, where I actually want to put billboards as the road is probably going to be brought up past this, and there was a lot of flat space. Now I don't have any billboards at the moment, and that's actually where I want to ask you. If you want to make a billboard that I can put in the city, then join my Discord and send your suggestions in the Stam art channel. It can be pretty much anything you want. A advertisement for a block, like maybe andesite alloy or kelp, or just like a fun pun using some Minecraft blocks. If you do need some inspiration, there are a couple of ideas and a few posters already in the Stam art chat, so just have a look there. But for now, those will be blank, and I'll put some up, and I will get a lot of other spaces around the city eventually for even more. For now though, I'd like to finish the courtyard, as this is the final area I want to decorate today. And first of all, I gotta clean up my shulker box mess. Yeah, it got a little out of hand, just a tad, but it's fine. Now to decorate, let's see, maybe I can find a couple of things in here which I could use still that are left over, although it is looking very, very empty. I saw these new decorative blocks that I'd like to try, and I need to... Oh, right. This is an issue. Need to crush that up. Okay, first we need to hook up power again. Should have everything I need, and I think the farm has actually fixed itself. It actually wasn't the pump range. It was just a slight little flaw with all the water being pumped into the bottom two steam engines and nothing up here, but well, now they're active. For now, let's get ourselves up there and make sure that these are connected, spinning together, allowing us to take that into the wall right over here. And I should probably bring out the gyrocopter here in a second. This actually... Okay, no. We'll be able to bring it down right here, allowing us to come through, and then we can get it down, I guess, below. Yeah, we need to go down a fair bit, actually. This will eventually be all of the outputs, so we'll bring this down. Should bring it down to that layer, which I don't know what is at. This feels like the right height, so I'm just going to send it, and I think, right, I have rotational speed controller and a large cogwheel to put right here, where we obviously want to spin that at 256. And now we should be able to just run this over and connect it over there, which should power everything back up again. If I have enough shafts, which it does look like I do. Eventually, I do want to revamp the system of how we are connecting everything and add proper on and off switches, but next time, yeah, next episode. Connect those up, and okay, they want to go the different ways. Let's go switch this one up then. A bit of trial and error. It looks like the starter base is spinning again. The iron farm is currently not, but I'll sort that out a little later. As for now, we should have our sheets. No, I think our sheets are actually stuck down here, not there even, because I think when I was hooking it up, it spun the wrong way for a bit. So they're gonna be, yep, they're in here. Okay, let's just give that a flip. That should cycle them out. Okay, now they move it over to that vault. Flip this lever. They should leave this vault. I don't know why they aren't. Maybe they have, it's just not showing up. Yeah, okay. Yep, copper's definitely back in here, so okay, no harm done, I guess. Should be able to use this now as well. Yes, there we go. This, if we throw this in a cauldron shape and an andesite alloy, we can make some compact fluid tanks. thought they looked really cool and they fit the vibe I want to go for. Throwing some composters in, and I'm not really planning on doing anything too special, so this should be enough. All I want to do is add a little more to this atmosphere in here. Who knows, I might be back in the future to detail even more. I think I'm going to get this taken out and replaced with fluid tanks. Turn that into something like that, and then we can maybe place some canisters around that. And let's see, I want to try something with acacia fences and lightning rods. Where have we placed that? As something? Do I know what that is? Pipes? I guess we could use pipes, but I think this looks pretty good too. I want to get another one of those maybe up here. Then I've got some normal barrels, which I'm thinking we can just kind of throw into this corner over here. Maybe bringing in some iron fluid tanks in there, and also maybe a composter. Composter can go over here. Maybe I'm making this area a little too busy, but I don't think so. It's really nothing special, but it just, when you are coming in here, it makes it feel like this area is actually being used for some working space. I could probably add in some more details, but I also don't really think it's needed. You can get through easily and check up on the lava, and maybe we do a touch up on the interior in the future, but I doubt it. Maybe actually in the monorail depot once I start getting those in. But future plans, right? For now, I'm very happy with how this steam power plant has turned out. It definitely have a few touches up to do, such as adding something into the giant tower and obviously completing the monorail room. And we're just not going to talk about that this is the way in at the moment, because I actually don't really know how the roads are going to stretch off in this direction, since I haven't started planning that out. So this road will come in when this road gets in. Definitely not me being lazy. No, I would never do that. But that is going to be it for me today. So thank you so very much for watching the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.